Hi everyone, it is December 2nd, 2015, and this is episode 47 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and I can be found as Serenova_Phoenix on Instagram. Sorry, I have something in my eye, I keep blinking. Anyways, the show notes for today can be found on my blog, which is myknittinglife.wordpress.com. Or in the Ravelry group for this podcast, there will be an episode thread. I'd like to thank all returning viewers and welcome all new viewers. I know I've gotten a lot of followers in the last week. I had a full 11 people join the Ravelry group, which is great. And then 4 people follow me on YouTube. So thank you very much. If you joined my group because of winter camp, I appreciate it. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. We have just under a month to go until it starts. Sign-ups are open until the 20th. Let me just run down the list because I like naming the people who have joined. So let me drag Evernote over to the other screen so I can actually read it without my glasses. And then, so the people who joined my Ravelry group, RKM Designs, who is Becky from Oklahoma. Little Panda 518, who is Amanda. She's from Arkansas. She's also the host of Stitching You and More. She's one of my fellow team leads from winter camp. Finers 4, who is Megan from New Zealand. Mandy Pinecone, who is Amanda from Vermont. She's another cabin lead for the winter camp. She is Team Puffin, who is the day campers. Kitty P.I.J., who is Kitty from the Netherlands. Muffin Megan Me, who is Jocelyn from New South Wales, Australia. Regina P. Love, who is Regina from Alabama. Bookish Stitcher, who is Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. She is the host of the Bookish Stitcher podcast. I think we convinced her to join winter camp on Monday night on the VKN, but I'm not sure. Autumn Floor, who is Tanya from Maine. Hi! I'm actually really close to you. Maine's only like an hour from here. Soleil, who is Leslie from California. And Cutesy Lou, aka Louise, who is from Worcestershire in the UK. Or Worcestershire, if I pronounce it how it's spelled. Or Worcestershire, if I say it with my New England accent. I can say that word about 4 different ways. And then on YouTube, I have Phil Penton, who I think is Phil, who I know from the Reddit Hufflepuff subreddit. Great, thank you. Brenda Paulson, Michelle Violet, and Baby26 Girl. So thank you all for the follows. Likes, subscribes, comments are all appreciated. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment in the episode thread. I'm a bit more active on Ravelry than on the blog. The blog is kind of just for show notes at this point, but, feel free to ask me stuff there. I do see messages people post to me, but I tend to just sit with Ravelry open instead of, I just leave it open in a tab in my web browser, like, all the time, constantly. And so, so feel free. I do have an Ask Me Anything thread in the Ravelry groups if you have any questions for me. It doesn't have to just be about crafting. You can just ask about me if you're curious. If I say something about my history or who I am that, just has you wondering, feel free to ask and I'll answer. I'll either answer in the thread or I will answer in the podcast. So as you may have noticed, the lighting is a little odd today. It is cold and rainy out. And by cold and rainy, I mean it is... if I can unlock my phone. Depending on your temperature scale, it is either 37 degrees or 2 degrees. Depending on whether you use Fahrenheit or Celsius. And it is raining. So it is cold and rainy and dim. But I wanted to record anyways, so here we are. Next week's episode, I will either record on another day or Wednesday afternoon as opposed to Wednesday morning, because normally I record in the morning, but Wednesday next week, I have an in-person interview in Cambridge for going permanent with Amazon.com. So, I'm not going to be at home in the morning to record, because the interview starts at 9 a.m. And, that means I have to leave home between 7 and 7:30, because traffic. So, sorry, allergies still bother me. Expect a weirdly recorded, dated podcast next week. Also, this week's VKN, which is normally Thursday nights, is for this week only, or will we'll see what my D&D group does. But right now for this week, I won't say only, but right now for this week, the VKN is going to be on Saturday, December 5th at 8 p.m. So if you want to come hang out on a video knitting chat on a Saturday night, come join me. That'll be good. And, let's see. Yeah, because my D&D group is meeting on Thursday nights. Now, we used to meet on Tuesday nights, which is why I held my VKN on Thursday nights. But, our DM's work schedule got changed, so now he's working Tuesday nights, but he's not working Thursday nights. But I can't move the VKN to Tuesday nights because Two Tangled Skeins hosts their VKN on Tuesday nights, and I don't want to try to host mine on the same night because I go to theirs, they go to mine. Fair's fair. So Saturday it is, temporarily. Next week we'll see. I don't know if we're having D&D next week, but we'll see. I know the week after we're not having D&D because that's when Star Wars The Force Awakens premieres, and Kevin is not going to be here. He's going to go see the movie. I want to see, now, this is sidetrack for a minute. I want to see the new Star Wars movie, but I don't need to see it opening night. Now, a new Star Trek movie, I would be there with midnight premiere tickets. But I'm not a Warzy fan. I'm not a Warzy the way I'm a Trekkie. And, I am really a Trekkie. But I'm not really a Warzy. I'm just a medium fan of Star Wars. I like the movies. I've read a couple of the Extended Universe books, which are now not canon, and that kind of bugs me. And, and I like the idea of the new movie, but at the same time, I don't need to stay up until midnight to see it. I don't. I'm sorry. With the Hobbit movies, midnight premiere all the way. Star Trek, midnight premiere all the way. There are certain things that I will buy midnight premiere tickets for. Star Wars is not one of them. I'll probably end up seeing it in theaters because Kevin is going to want, he said he knows he's going to want to see it more than once in theaters. So we'll probably go on a weekend or an evening, sometime in January to see it. But opening night, which is the 17th, he's on his own. So he can go have fun. Without me. He's got people he's going to go with though. So anyways, VKN Saturday night, not tomorrow. Because I'm having Dungeons & Dragons tomorrow. And then the week after is the book club, so I'm not sure we can do D&D then either. But I will hold the VKN. The VKN will be late next week, but it should be on Thursday. Anyways, I think that's enough random stuff to start with. Let me do the draw for the November thread before I do anything else so I don't forget. Let's see, how many posts were there? There were 12, but one got deleted, so there are 11. So, through the magic of Siri.
Siri here. How may I help you?
Pick a number between 2 and 11.
I'm not sure I understand.
She's not good at understanding me. Choose a number between 2 and 11. 2. See? 2. Little focus. Focus. Reflective case is reflective, but 2. I'm pretty sure you can tell that's a 2. So who is 2? Mirj! Who is Miriam from Israel. Send me a PM with the patterns you want, and I will gift them to you. That is you get $6. So you can choose one pattern that's $6, or 3 patterns that are $2, or 2 that are 3, whatever, right? $6 US of patterns, just send me a PM. And that is it is a hooded scarf for, Tinky is your daughter? No. Finished scarf. Hooded scarf for Tinky. Oh, that hooded scarf for Tinky is a pattern. Your daughter, Tahila, it's for her. So there's a picture in the thread if you guys want to go see. I've already locked the thread. I actually locked it yesterday morning when I got up because it was December 1st. And I have opened new threads for December. So if you want the chance to win $6 in pattern credit from me, go put your finished objects in there. There's also a corresponding chatter thread because I want to keep the finished objects thread clean so that I can do a random number draw. But there is a corresponding chatter thread if you want to talk about what each other has done. So feel free to go do those. The cat is running around crazy. I don't know if you can hear her collar. What are you doing, Koki? She's being a crazy kitty. So, now on to projects and all of that good stuff. So, I would be wearing a finished object if I hadn't gotten fountain pen ink on it and had to immediately wash it. Yes, this is my life. And you want to know what color the fountain pen ink was? Red. because it was this pen. This pen leaked on my sweater, and I'm not happy. So, you know my, yeah, you can see it. See it on my hand there? That red, that pinkish? Yeah, it's, my fingertips are still a little pink. So I finished my gradient sweater. I finished it. But it is on the floor behind me. Can I show it to you on camera? Ta-da! There it is. See, it's laying on the floor. It's drying because I had to wash it, but it's done. Yeah, I cast off the second sleeve last night. I wanted to finish it by the end of November, but you know what? December 1st is good enough. I cast off the sleeve last night, and I picked it up, and I was holding it, and I saw a splotch of red, and I was like, oh, bleepity bleepity bleep. I use actual swears, but I'm going to bleep myself because I want to keep this, you know, I don't want to swear my head off on the podcast. And then I saw another splotch on the sleeve, and I'm like, crap, right? So I grabbed, see that metal bowl? I use that for washing my knits in the sink because the kitchen sink is dirty, but I keep that bowl just for knitting stuff. And it's stainless, so it doesn't, okay, anyways. Excuse me. So I immediately went and I ran the sweater under water, and I rinsed it like 3 times, and then I left it soak with the wash. Now, the yarn is super wash, so I could have thrown it in the washing machine, but I really didn't want to do that because I didn't want the sweater to grow ridiculously. And I knew that if I just soaked it with minimal touching, it would kind of stay the same size. Like, I don't even have a picture of me wearing it because I literally cast off, saw the splotches, realized the ink was still wet, and ran to the kitchen. So once it's dry, I will have pictures of me wearing it. However, I don't have them right now because, like I said, fountain pen ink. It stains your skin, it'll stain yarn, and I panicked last night. I was like, crap. I ran to the kitchen. Kevin's like, what is going on? I'm like, ink, sweater, pen. I could not get a sentence out because I was so, like, focused on what I was doing. He's just like, what? I'm like, ugh. Anyways. That's tea. It's a pu'er, which is, they're like blacker than black teas. They're fermented teas that have been aged for between 2 to 5 years, and they're made from black teas. So, but it's more earthy and more heavy than a traditional black. But anyways, I really like tea. This is the thing. I like tea. Anyways, so I have a finished object, but it's on the floor and it's wet and I can't hold it up and show it to you. I'm sorry. Because the humidifier, that's the humidifier. It's in the same room as my drying sweater. My sweater's taking a while to dry. So anyways, I do have whips for you. Now, the thing about whips is that I have decided that I'm going to attempt to not cast on anything in December. I want to finish stuff by the end of the year. So, I'm going to work on finishing stuff. So, first of all is the baby blanket. And I've put quite a bit on it since you saw it. I'm kind of in the middle of a row, but at least with crochet, the middle of the row, I can still hold it up for you. So, see? Yay! Where's the marker? The stitch marker is all the way down here. So I have done, since you saw it, 2 whole color stripes and almost another half stripe since you saw it. So this is moving along well, and I do want to get this done ASAP. This is the top of my queue. This is what I am working on the most, because it needs to get done because the baby is still in the hospital that it's for, and yeah, that's it. Speaking of babies, I went to New York on Sunday for a christening, and it was funny. I got back, and one of my friends was like, how's New York? And my first response was Catholic. Because my mom's side of the family is Catholic. I'm Jewish. So, like, when I go to any, like, religious event for them, which, honestly, a christening is a really religious event, my first response that came to mind was Catholic, because I had to sit through a Catholic mass for the christening. And granted, it was shorter than Jewish services, because we go, like, 3 hours on a good day, and mass was only an hour. So, you know, that was nice, but at the same time, my mom and I got funny looks for not crossing ourselves and responding to prayers and stuff, and that's always a little uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not rude. We stood when they stood, we sat when they sat, but we didn't kneel. Not that there was much kneeling, but we didn't kneel, and we didn't cross ourselves. We didn't do any of that other stuff. We just, you know, stood and sat and stood, you know. But it was only an hour, which is actually, like, super short for me for services, because Friday night services are an hour. Saturday services are, like, 3 hours. So I'm used to services going a lot longer than that. I was actually surprised how short it was. But it was a 4-hour drive to get there. Because it's in New York. So yeah, it was a long, the holiday weekend was really long, like really long. I'll tell you about it after I finish showing you my whips. So the other whip, well, one of the two other whips, because I have 3 right now, is my sockhead hat. Yay! Haven't put much on it. I've only put, see where the marker is, I've only put that much on it since you guys saw it last, which was in Florida. But this is when my hands need a break from crochet, I knit a few rows on this and then go back to the crochet. That is my current break. And then lastly, I have my purse socks. Well, I call them my purse socks, but they were originally my September sock club socks, but it's December and they're not done, so that didn't happen. But these are for my purse because honestly, I can't fit the blanket in my purse. My purse isn't that big. My purse is just not that big. I can fit socks in my purse, but I cannot fit a whole crochet blanket with extra yarn in my purse. So, of course, I'm in the middle of a row, but, you know, I can at least hold it up for you. I have turned the heel, and you can see, if I can get it to do its thing. So you can see where I was. There's the marker. So I have knit that much, and that does include the heel. So I've knit that much since you guys last saw it. Again, last time you saw this, it was in Florida. So this is my purse knitting for when I'm out and about and sitting and waiting in places. And then the hat for when I need a quick 5-minute break from crochet, and then the crochet blanket. So, those are my whips. Not as much as I would have hoped. I am still reading The Lace Reader. I'm working on that. Book club is next week. I need to finish it. I'll probably sit down and put in an effort this weekend to really finish it. Because that's when I'll have the time. I mean, I work. I can knit and work, but I can't read and work. Because what happens with work is that if I'm doing something or I'm waiting for something to load, I can get a few stitches in here or there, but I can't do that with reading. And I only knit when, like I'm waiting for something, like when I have to reboot my computer or install updates or something where I can't actively do something on my work computer, is when I'll knit. So, if anybody from work is watching, I'm sorry I don't knit as much as that sounds. I really don't. Anyways, I actually am gonna go get a haircut for my interview next week, and by a haircut, I mean a trim, because the ends are really, really scraggly. I mean, I have it loose today, but my ends are just all bad. Like, just all bad. And so I'm gonna go get a trim. I got a really good recommendation for a hairdresser from someone at my local knitting shop, she's my age, and she also has really thick hair. She doesn't have the curl, but she does have long and thick hair, so I'm hoping that the person she goes to will be really good. I actually have to call and make an appointment for early next week to have it done so that, you know, my hair isn't a huge mess come interview time on Wednesday. Let's see. I talked about the weekend, talked about blanket, talked about all that stuff. Oh, right, stash. This is going to be the last stash for a while, partially because I'm broke. Well, not completely broke, but broke enough that I really shouldn't be buying yarn. Even though I just bought something from Goulet Pens today, which Goulet Pens is not yarn. If you can't tell from the name, they are a website that actually sells fountain pens and other stuff. And I usually go. They have a section called the bottom shelf, and these are products that are perfectly usable, but like the packaging has been damaged in shipping to them from the supplier. So they put that on their bottom shelf, and it's still a perfectly usable product, but it's got a ding or the label's stained or something, right? So I bought a bottle of ink, which the label was stained on the bottle. I'm like, it's still a full bottle of ink, and it's like $5 off. It's less than, so I got it. It's really pretty brown, actually. It's almost a sepia, but not quite. It doesn't have the red tones, but it's a really nice, rich, warm, like milk chocolatey brown, and I really liked it. Then they had a really nice notebook for $8 because they're like, one of the corners got dinged. I don't care. It's going to go in my purse. It's going to get dinged to high heaven in the process of me owning it. It can come with a ding. So for $8, I got a really nice notebook. So I did order that today. But that's it. You know, and that was less than $20 total. Because, yeah. Even with shipping, it was less than 20. So there's that. But anyway, stash. Well, actually, no, I'm not completely broke, because I do get anyways, you don't need to know that. So, the two, since the other Knit Picks order, I put in 2. And they came on the same day, because I put them in, like, 12 hours apart. So the first order was 4 more balls of Time Traveler. And Miriam, 2 of these are for you. I will get them in the mail this week, hopefully. I'll try. These are for you. 2. 2 of these are for you. So now I have 8 for myself, and Miriam gets 2. And then I got 2, and the other one was a big box. And by a big box, I mean a box. So that's why I'm leaning over, because I have it at my feet, because it won't fit in my lap. So I got 2 skeins of Madrigal for socks. This is Nitpicks Felici. Again, the Time Traveler was Felici, and this is Felici. So this is Madrigal. I really like the color. This is going to become really pretty striped socks. And then I got 15 balls of this. This is Nitpicks Wool of the Andes Superwash in Persimmon Heather. I don't know if the orange is going to come out real well. That's kind of accurate. So I got 15 balls of this because I'm going to make the Stone Cutter pullover. It's from Brooklyn Tweed, BT Fall 2013, I think is the magazine. And it's a really good cable pullover. I've been watching, what is her name? I cannot think of her name. The host of the Yarngasm podcast. Kristen Mullenvine. Yarngasm podcast. Her. She's been knitting one in a really nice, like, dark charcoal gray, and I'm like, I want that. But I was limiting myself to what was on sale on Nitpicks, and Wool of the Andes, this is the worsted, because it's a worsted weight sweater, had some really nice colors, but I really like this one, and I need some colorful sweaters, because I have gray, purple, gray, and then my multicolored one that I knit out of the Malabriga Rios. But I wanted an orange sweater, and this is a deep orange, so I think it'll work good on me. I don't think it'll pale me out too much. I think it looks better on the side. I don't think it'll be too bad on me, so there's that. And then I got 2 colors of palette, and I got 4 of each color. So I got Grizzly Heather, focus. Grizzly Heather, which is a nice, it's not coming up as warm a brown as it is to me. It's actually a really nice, it's actually almost the color of my hair. Look at that. It's like the color of my hair. My hair is officially Grizzly Heather from Nitpicks. And then the other one is Clarity, which is a very light, icy blue. And these are going to go together, because I thought they would be really pretty together, to make a Sesquenahar. Is that how you say it? Honestly, I have no idea how you say this. It's in my queue. It's in my Ravelry queue. It is a pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. It's one of her, it's a Fair Isle cowl. No, I want Q, not stash. Q. Give me my Q. Excuse me. So I have her Sesquenahar in my queue, but I'm doing her crazy Scandinavian cowl. It's by Wendy D. Johnson. It's $5 on Ravelry, and it's really cool. And she did hers in like a gray and a white, but I am going to do the brown and the blue. And so I am not in focus. Woo! I'm still a little blurry. But anyways, I got 4 of each because that's how much I need of each color. Because there's only, it's only 230 yards in each ball. And you need, 600 yards of each, not 600. You need 900 yards of each color. So I got 4 of each. Hopefully that's enough. At least if it's not enough though, palette is cheap enough. I can always order more from Nitpicks. So I'm not too worried about it. So, I can't think of anything else. Oh, well, this is just some random blather stuff. I'm getting my car looked at tomorrow morning because, my rear defroster isn't working. Now, I just got the car in September. I showed you guys pictures back then, right? The car is not even 2 years old yet. It's a model year 2014, right? It had less than 3,000 miles on it when I drove it off the lot. The rear defroster doesn't work. Seriously, what the hell? So I am taking it to the dealership in the morning because that is who I got it from. I have a warranty. I'm going to blame them that it doesn't work because I didn't have to use it until this month. So I had no idea it wasn't working because it hasn't been cold enough for a frost in the morning, or, well, a frost that was still in your car at when you went to go use it in the morning, right? Because we've had frost overnight, but normally the cars are just wet because they heat up warmer. They heat up faster because they're metal. But, I had to actually use the rear defroster this past week, and it didn't work. So I called them on Monday, made an appointment for tomorrow. I also had a dentist appointment this past Monday. I hate that. I don't know if you probably saw it on the Instagram. He was like, because like, I'm a really good dentist. I would recommend him to anyone in my area, but I hate going. Because I just don't like pointy things in my mouth. I don't like needles in general, and sticking pointy things in my mouth just makes me go, but I try to be good. I'm there every 6 months. I try to be good. So, winter camp. Winter camp signups are still open through the 20th, so you have 2.5 weeks if you want to sign up for winter camp. Remember, you must be a member of the group to participate. If you don't want to commit to the whole 3 months, you can join Team Puffin, which is the day campers, but you still have to be a member of the group. Either way, you have to be a member of the group. Whether you sign up for the full 3 months or are a day camper, you have to be a member of the group. We still have our teams, trying to decide if we need co-leaders or not. Right now, the verdict is no, because right now we have enough people that there's about 30 people per person, not including Team Puffin, because Team Puffin has a lot of people, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the 6 of us who are leading teams for the whole, the 3-month campers, the full camp campers, we're at about 30 people each at the moment, so that's not that bad for one person to handle. So right now we're not going to have co-leads. If we need them, we'll probably put a call out for people to volunteer, but right now we're good. We've decided that, unless we hit like some ridiculous number of people per person, we'll probably be okay. And the rules are still the rules. We did put an FAQ page up in the group because we decided that was needed, because instead of having to reread the thread all the time, go through and make an FAQ page. We have lots of prizes: bags, yarn, stitch markers, patterns, pattern credits. I've donated some yarn. I'll probably donate some more yarn, as I go through my stash and just decide, am I going to use this, am I not going to use this, etc. And, sign-ups end on the 20th, starts January 1st. We have decided that if you want to cast on at 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve local time, you can. However, you cannot finish the project before midnight. So, don't do blanket squares. You can cast on something that's going to take you more than 5 hours to knit, because you need to finish it after midnight, December 31st, 12:01 a.m., January 1st, right? So, and all the rules are up in the group, so if you have any questions, I will unlock the thread in my group, and then there is an FAQ thread in the winter camp group. I'll link it in the show notes. But feel free to come in, join. We'd be happy to have you. And you're not limited to, our categories for knit. So, January is for your head. You don't have to knit a hat in January. You can knit a shawl, you can knit gloves, you can knit a sweater in January. We don't care. We just want you to knit. So if you're going to be knitting anyways from January to March, why don't you get points and enter for prizes? In the meantime, join us. I see nothing bad about this arrangement, other than maybe a little bit of math. But it's only addition, so you should be good, because I'm pretty sure knitters can add. So, I think I'm done. I have work to do, and I will see you all next week. So, thank you for watching. If I can find the button. Thank you for watching. Bye!